Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan and I am primarily a fantasy reader. So this week I'm going to be reading only sci-fi for the whole week to sort of branch out and try new genres. So here's my lineup. The first book is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This is an adult sci-fi series. I have the whole series, so I'm super excited to start this. And who knows, if I enjoy it, I might just keep reading the whole series and forget about these. Next is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This one's on my January TBR, so I really want to make sure I read this. It's just like a YA sci-fi, I think. This is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This one is definitely more of a fantasy with sci-fi elements, so I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this one up because it's not fully sci-fi, but if I need a book to read, I'll definitely pick this up. Same with sci-if. This is also more of a dystopian sci-fi, like fantasy. It's not fully sci-fi, I don't think, but also could definitely pick this up this week. And the last one is All of Our Wrong Todays by Ilan Mastai. This one I've never really seen online, but one of my family friends knows the author to this book. He's Canadian, he's a screenwriter, and both my parents read this book and loved it, so I definitely want to try it out. It's also just sci-fi. I'm not sure the age rating, but yeah. So I think I'm going to start with this book because I'm not really sure what it's about at all, and I've also never seen anyone read it, so I don't actually know like what I'm getting into. But yeah, I think I'm going to start with this one and then we'll see how I go from there. So it's Monday. We're starting with All Our Wrong Todays. Okay, I've only read 10 pages, so I can't really say anything, but I'm already on chapter 5. These chapters are so short. Okay, look, chapter 5, flip the page, boom, chapter 6. Flip it twice, chapter 7. Like, they're so short, but I kind of love it. Also, okay, I know I was saying it's not a very well-known book, but literally, like, V.E. Schwab has a blurb, and so does Andy Weir, and, like, a bunch of people, like, so low-key it's like a well-known book, I guess. I thought it was like niche, but I guess not. Okay, it's Tuesday. I'm still reading All Our Wrong Todays. I'm liking it so far, but it's not like my favorite. Like it's not hitting, if you get what I mean. If you speak of the Gen Z slang. I'm on page 40 though, so there's definitely a ways to go. I had like no time to read today, but I'm gonna read now before bed. I like that the chapters are short, but also they're so short. Like they're like one page. So I'll like get into the groove and I'll start understanding, and then it changes topics. And I'm like, oh. And also there's a lot of like, I don't know if it's physics or what. I think it's physics, but like physics of time travel that I'm just kind of past, like I'm just glossing over it. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But if you like understood what was going on, maybe you'd really like that. And you'd be like, wow, that's such a cool theory, but I don't really care. The thing with being a fantasy reader is most of the things I read are fake. So I just pass over. I'm like, okay, it's fake, it's its own world, like I don't have to understand it. But this is actually technically probably somewhat real. So anyways, I am liking it though, so I'm gonna keep reading. I want to get like halfway through before bed because it's not like hard to read. Like I think I can get. I'll update you. Hello, long time no see. It's now Wednesday, so it's only been 2 days, and I'm on page 98. So just about a third of the way through, I think. And it's actually crazy because 39 chapters was 28 pages. Like these chapters are so short, and I don't think I can explain it to you unless you read the book, because like literally like chapter 40, chapter 41, like they're one page, and it's like fine, I like it, but for me and the way that I read, it's not the best. Like I like short chapters. I like 7 pages, 10 pages, even like a 5 page is like, wow, like that's so short. But 2, because also for me, like when I finish a chapter, I'm like, yes, like I finished a chapter, like it gives me a sense of accomplishment. But then sometimes when I finish a chapter, I'm like, okay, I finished, I can go like check Instagram, or I can like do something else. And so because I get that feeling of like, okay, I accomplished something in the book, I can put it down and come back to it. But I get that feeling every 2 pages. So then I'm like barely reading it because I'm like, I read a whole chapter, but it was 2 pages. So yeah, but I think things are about to start happening. It's still been quite a lot of explanation of the backstory. And it does jump around a little bit, which is a little bit weird. But then now we're finally sort of starting to see, I think, whatever the main plot is. But I have quite a bit of time to read today, so maybe I can finish it. But I do have like 300 pages to read, so maybe I can't finish it. We will see, but I will update you later today, probably. But I am liking it so far, but I'm not like as of right now, it's like a 3-star, but I think it's gonna hopefully get better. Okay, I'm still reading. I am liking it. But sometimes they will say things and I'm like, I'm actually not a physicist. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And okay, let me read you a quote. This is a quote that's like making fun of a really smart guy. But literally, okay. If you actually care, a polariton is a combination of a photon with a dipole carrying material excitation like a phonon, which is a kind of quasi-particle in condensed matter that involves vibrating elastic webs of interacting atoms and molecules. And then it's like, if you understood that, you would get along with the smart guy. And like, haha, but also, what? Like, I don't know, it's just like, I'm not a physicist, I don't understand. So it's Friday, and I've just finished All I Wrong Today's last night. I gave this 3.75 stars. It was good, and I would recommend it, especially if you like sci-fi. It just wasn't my favorite. Like, it took me a really long time to read because of the chapters, like I said, and just some parts of it were like really annoyed me. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but still a really good read, and I would recommend 3.75. And then the next book I'm gonna start is Renegades. I did take the dust jacket off, but it's like up there. This is on my January TBR, also sci-fi. This one's YA, and it is pretty long, but we're hoping for the best. I have 3 more days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I really want to read Renegades, and I also really want to get to Red Rising, so hopefully we can do that. Honestly, I think I can, because I was really busy the past 4 days, but these next few days I shouldn't be too busy, so yeah. But it's weird reading sci-fi because it's so similar, and it is like fiction just like fantasy, but because there's like the science aspect to it, it's like could be real, or like it's science, it's like fact, whereas like fantasy is completely fake. So it's like, I find it very interesting to see the difference, but I'll give you my full opinions on like the sci-fi later. So I'm gonna read this. Okay, I've been reading Renegades all day. I'm on page 156, and I'm really liking it. It's definitely very different from the last book I read. Like, they're both sci-fi, but they're so different, which is crazy to think about, because this is like YA, sort of like dystopian, and it's more like superpowers, whereas the other one was more time travel. And so it's just cool to see, like, even within the sci-fi genre, like, there's still so much difference and so many like options for what you can get. So don't just read like one book and be like, oh, I hate sci-fi, I don't like sci-fi, because it's such a range of options that are also different. I will say I'm liking this more immediately just because I prefer the writing, and it's also YA, so it's very quick to read, whereas the other one, like the first 100 pages almost sort of felt pointless. It's just so much backstory. This one got right into it. We know the characters, we know the history, like the backstory, and now at 156 it's just sort of starting to get going. So I'm super excited for the way it goes. I have some guesses, but we'll see if I'm right. Okay, a quick little check-in. It's been a whole day because I had a sleepover, and so it's been like 15 hours since I read, but I have been listening to the audiobook, and I'm on page 488, so I only have that much left. It's like 80 pages maybe, so I'm definitely gonna finish this tonight. I even have a little Alani energy drink because I'm so tired, but I really want to finish this before the start of next week. I'm really liking it. It's so different from the first book, but it's definitely more my vibe. It's definitely more fantasy, like sci-fi fantasy. It's also YA, so like that's kind of good, and I'm liking it, but also it's almost done, and I'm kind of like, where is this like going? There's 2 more books, but I definitely think I want to continue the series. And I'm really upset at myself because I don't think I'm going to be able to start Red Rising, which I like really wanted to. Like, yeah, this was on my like my January TBR, like my February TBR, but like Red Rising I've wanted to read for so long. Like that was like my most anticipated. So now I'm like, I'm gonna start like a new challenge next week. I'm not reading sci-fi anymore, so I don't think I can start Red Rising today because it's already like 9 at night, so we're just barely gonna finish this. But if you want to see me read Red Rising, it'll definitely be in a future vlog when I do finally read it, or I could do like a whole series video, the whole series. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna finish it in this week. So yeah, usually every week I read 2 to 3 books depending on my schedule, and this week was definitely a slower week. But now we're sort of getting back into the rhythm of school, so next week should hopefully be better. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this. Okay, I have finished Renegades. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm super excited to continue the series. It wasn't like similar to All Our Wrong Todays at all, which I think is so cool about the science fiction genre, but I really enjoyed it. It has like villains and superheroes, and like they have powers, and yeah, I just thought it was really interesting, like the dynamics between the characters. They're sort of just like teenagers fighting crime, but it's like really cool. So yeah, also it kind of ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm excited to see where that goes in future books, but I really enjoyed this. It's like definitely YA, like young adult, but it's good YA, so it's fine. So yeah, these are my books of the week. I enjoyed both of them. They're both, I think, a good start to science fiction as sort of an adult and a YA science fiction, and now that I sort of have more experience of them with science fiction, it definitely has like reinforced my want to continue reading more science fiction. For me, I think I do still enjoy the like fantasy, like the fake, you know, it's just like you make up your own world and you make up like cool fake things, whereas science fiction does, yes, it has like magic powers and big things, but it also does have science behind it, and so it's kind of like a weird mix between like fiction and science, which I'm not totally used to yet, but I do like. So yeah, this was super fun. I definitely want to continue reading this series and to continue reading more science fiction overall, but thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.